Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Looks like we got a pretty good group of attendees to join us tonight. So on behalf of the Mid-Atlantic Regional Council of Carpenters Benefit Funds, we're glad you're here tonight for the Town Hall Q&A benefit awareness. I'll get started with introductions. My name is Seamus Breen. I'll be your host tonight. I'm part of the fund's communication team. And to my right is Katrina Baggerly. She is the fund office manager in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And next to her is Heather Hatch, who is our medical department supervisor. So hopefully over the past several days, hopefully you had a chance to watch the benefit awareness video that we sent out. We sent it out email, we put it on the website, texted it out. So hopefully everybody had a chance to watch that. It kind of just gave you an overview of your pension, annuity, and health fund benefits. So tonight is your opportunity to ask questions, get clarification, hear directly from fund office staff in regards to any questions that may have come up as you watch that video. This format is an open forum. So what that means is because it's a webinar, it is a listen-only mode. So you will be able to ask your questions. You just have to submit them in the chat feature on your screen. We have moderators moderating the questions, so hopefully we can get to everybody as much as time allows and we can answer everybody's questions. Now, if we receive multiple questions that kind of are in the same topic, we'll try to group them together to just get a better comprehensive response in regards to that question. Please keep in mind that tonight's intended to just provide general information about the benefit funds. If your questions involve personal benefits, eligibility, other confidential information, we'll be happy to follow up with you individually in the next couple of days. I believe you had to put in your cell number when you register for this webinar, so we'll have somebody from the fund office staff get back to you if your question is a little bit more in detail and depth in regards to your own personal benefits and eligibility. So our goal is really just to provide a clear, accurate information and make sure you have a better understanding of the valuable benefits that you're earning during your career towards your retirement and also post-retirement through your hard work and dedication. So we appreciate your time in being here and we look forward to answering those questions. So with that, we'll get started. I do want to mention right before we get started that we do know that there is a heavy population within the MARCC participants that are Spanish speaking. So we do have moderators in the background monitoring the chat. So if you do submit your question in Spanish, so that you're more comfortable doing that, please do so and you'll get a direct response back from one of our moderators. We will also post this video on YouTube that'll allow you to put in Spanish subtitles or whatever your preferred language is. So just know that going in that you will have access to that after the fact. So with that, we're going to get started. Looks like we already got a ton of questions coming in, so I'm going to try to start with the first one. I have a question from Jose. So this question is in regards to early retirees. He said the video mentions no options to work and receive benefits. And he's basically asking, do you mean no work on the trades, only on anything? For example, a retiree retires at 58. So I think he's asking about the retirees working after retirement.
Sure. So working after retirement rules are if you're under age 64, you're not allowed to work in the carpentry trade in the jurisdiction that the carpenters cover. So for example, if you wanted to go, if you wanted to retire and be a school bus driver or something to that nature that's not carpentry related, you have every right to do so. If you would like to stay in the carpentry industry and you're under the age of 64, you may not work and retire at the same time. Anything after 65 to 70 and a half, there's limitations. That limitation is $17,000 in a calendar year. After you meet that $17,000 in the calendar year, it's 39 hours per month that you're limited to work. Anything after 70 and a half, you can work unlimited in the carpentry industry. So those are the rules for working after retirement.
Yeah, so thanks for clarifying that, Katrina. So I know that's a question that comes up a lot, right? Yeah. Guys want to know if they can work after retirement. So again, that's one of those situations where you keep an eye on your age, when you're eligible to work after retirement, and that salary income for the year. Keep track of that. And then if you still have questions, reach out to the fund office and they can answer any of those individual questions you have in regards to working after retirement.
Right.
All right. So next question. This one pertains to, it's from Todd. He's asking, at age 62 with 38 credited years, can he legally draw a pension and continue working until Social Security age?
So at age 62 with 30 years of credited service, you can go out on an unreduced normal retirement, but you are under the age of 65. So you would not be able to continue working in the carpentry industry. Again, it's 65 to 70 and a half, you have to meet that limitation. So anything under 65, you cannot work.
Yeah, and I guess he's, just to clarify, I don't know if, Todd, you're asking about drawing a pension while still being an active participant, which I believe you cannot do, right? You can't start drawing your pension and still be an active participant working in the trades.
Correct. No, not at that age, not at age 62.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to stay pretty heavy here. Some early, it's retirement heavy questions to start. So if this is from Nelson, if you retire early, are you still penalized on your annuity?
So with your annuity, if you are retiring and you've turned in your retirement paperwork and you want to take out your annuity, that is one of the options that allows you to take out your annuity. The IRS does require us to still take out taxes on that. So it's best to give us a call and go over your situation on how old you are and look at your taxes, or talk to your tax advisor. It's really best that you talk to your tax advisor on that, because they'll go over your certain situation, your certain income, and explain to you exactly the tax situation that will apply if you do take out your annuity.
Yeah, great advice again. Always, we stress at the fund office to always consult with financial planners,
tax advisors.
Tax advisors. The fund cannot give you financial advice, so you want to reach out to the professionals, and that will give you a better understanding of what the plans entail and what you can and cannot do. So thanks for your question, Nelson. Another question from Jose, and his question's on retirement. So, excuse me, if he moves abroad, can he continue receiving? Does he have to continue receiving benefits? And if so, would making direct deposits? So would he get direct deposit or a mail check? So basically, if he's living out of the country, can he still receive his benefits, retirement benefits, living outside of the United States?
Sure. So his retirement benefits, we do have international banking, so that wouldn't be a problem. We would just need a certain form filled out and returned to us so we can get that check sent over or that wire sent over internationally.
Great. So yeah, a lot of guys, that's not uncommon. They work in the United States, retire, move out of the country, and there is international banking. All right. So Hallie, let's see. Hallie's got, if a member has earned 30 years of vesting credits, and can they receive their full pension benefit at age 55?
Okay, so age 55 with 10 years of credited service would be considered reduced early retirement. So reduced early retirement is, again, reduced. You have a reduction of 0.5% per month prior to normal retirement age. Normal retirement age currently is 65. So you want to think hard about that reduction factor going out at 55.
Yeah, and that's key. That's something else you would also talk to a financial advisor, financial planner about, because that can add up, that 0.5% per month all the way up until age 65. That's 10 years worth of that reduction. So let's see if we can get Heather involved here with a health question. There's some new benefits that were launched for the MARCC Fund, and one of them is called the gallery test. How old do you have to be? And first of all, what is the gallery test? And then how old do you have to be eligible for the gallery test?
Okay, so the gallery test is a multi-cancer early detection test. Basically, it's a kit that you can order and it comes directly to your house. It tests for over 50 different early cancer markers. So basically, you can have a licensed phlebotomist come out to the comfort of your own home, or you can have, you can go to one of their preferred labs. They take a small sample of blood. Once they do all the testing, they'll call you back and let you know your results. As far as your age, you do have to be 50 and older. However, you cannot be on Medicare. If you are between the ages of 40 and 49, and you do have elevated risk factors, you can contact them to see about possibly doing that as well.
Great. And it's one of those benefits, I think it's like a peace of mind benefit, but also if you can detect something early, specifically cancer, you have a better chance of survival rate than you do catching it late. So stage 1, much higher chance of survival than stage 4, 3, or 4. So again, another great preventative care benefit to utilize at no cost to you as a participant. So please take advantage, everyone. I'll probably stick to this in the same category because we also, I know the fund launched another benefit called Catapult. So the Catapult kit, physical in a box.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the Catapult kit.
So Catapult is another one that you can do at home. Basically, you order the kit, it gets shipped to your house. It comes with everything you kind of need to do a physical at home. Comes with a blood pressure cuff. It comes with a device that does take another small sample of blood. You send everything back, and then a licensed nurse practitioner calls you back within a couple of days of them processing things and goes over your test results with you. And once again, it is at no cost, and it's for the members and their eligible spouses.
Great. Yeah. And then it's another preventative care benefit.
Yes.
Just if you do anything at all every year, just do the Catapult kit, order it, get it sent to your house. Simple, easy blood draw. At least get an idea what your numbers are. So there's a lot of chronic conditions or underlying conditions that don't have symptoms, right? So hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, pre-diabetes, these are all things you can find out through a simple blood draw. So if there's anything, at least utilize that benefit to get an idea where your numbers are.
And it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah,
So
zero cost
why not?
benefit. Absolutely. All right, let's see what else we got here. Here's one from Christopher. So Christopher's asking, I retire now when I'm 62 and keep working in a management role and draw my retirement? I think this kind of ties back into the questions earlier in regards to working in retirement.
So 62, you can go out again reduced. The management role, no, you have to be, 65 or older in order to do that. So I would give the fund office a call just to confirm all of that, with your certain situation. But 62, you have a reduction and no working after retirement.
All right. Here's one from Jose is asking, what taxes apply to retirees on their annuity plan for distribution? And I know this can get into certain age, like a pre-age and a post-age. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So again, that's where we would like you to talk to your tax advisor, because again, your situation could be different with how much money you make and what you're taking out specifically. Taxes for annuity, it depends on what you're taking out the money. You're saying retirement, correct?
Yeah, so annuity, it applies to retirees on the annuity plan. What taxes apply to that?
So normally we're required to take 20% taxes. Depending on your age, the IRS could take out more. So again, we really recommend that you talk to a tax advisor before, deciding to take out that money.
Yeah, another great point. Here's one for the panel, the two of you. We'll talk about like biggest misconceptions in the world of benefits, right? So what's a misconception that you may hear most often from participants about, I'll start with Heather, about their health coverage? Like what's a big misconception that you hear a lot when you're dealing with participants?
I think a lot of members, we all know that they do talk to their friends on the job sites or their business agents. So a big thing is always call us with your questions. Not everybody's situation is different. Katrina will probably explain that when it comes to the pension portion, but between that and then your health benefits, you've worked for them, utilize them. I mean, you take advantage of Catapult, take advantage of Gallery. We do partner with Manifesto for mental health and independent administrators. Take advantage of all the benefits that you have. You're working for them, so you might as well use them.
Absolutely. And again, I'm going to piggyback off that as well. A lot of misconception is, Heather worked with me on all the jobs, you know, we should have the same benefits. We should be allowed to retire at the same time, pull our money out at the same time. You know, sometimes that doesn't always apply because, you know, Heather had to take a break from working, you know, she had, you know, something going on. So that affects your retirement. Everyone's different when it comes to retirement. You know, when it comes to retirement and being able to retire with the credits they have, work hours they had, dollar amounts that were contributed on them based on the work that they did. So it's best to always give the fund office a call with all of your questions versus going to, you know, comparing with your buddies. We can give you the exact time frame that you can retire, you know, give you all the information you need, accurate information that you need. So it's always best to call the fund office versus, you know, relying on others who may have worked with you as well.
Yeah, great advice. Sometimes, you know, you get the card, you get eligible for benefits, you get the card, you know, the card's in your pocket. But then when you need to use your benefits, you may not know exactly what to do or what card to use or where to go. So make sure you understand your benefits and get educated. And again, the fund office is always here to assist you with that. All right, here's a good one. So we have, what different options do early retirees have to receive their annuity benefits? So I think this kind of ties into a question we had earlier in regards to the annuity. But what options do they have when they want to distribution for their annuity?
Sure.
plan?
So when you want to take out your annuity, there's several different ways. Obviously, when you're taking out your annuity, you, again, want to talk to a financial advisor to make sure that is the best decision for you at the time, because the annuity is considered a second form of retirement. It's there for when you retire to have those extra funds. One way you can take that out is if you retire. So if you've turned in your pension application, you obviously can pull that money out. You can obviously leave it in there. You can take out a hardship application if you absolutely need it. There's different rules and regulations for hardships, though. We have certain things we have to go by for taking out a hardship. So if that applies to you, we can, you know, obviously help you there and get you some information on that. Or you have a required minimum distribution. So at the age of 73, we're required to start paying out your annuity based on IRS regulations. So again, you have retirement, hardship, and then the required minimum distribution that you're allowed to take out your annuity.
Great. Thanks, Katrina. All right. I have another question here. This is going to be for Heather. So if somebody they're getting medical invoices for the insurance coverage that they say should be covered, but they're getting denials. What happens? What would a member do to get assistance with that?
Yeah, so the members can contact independence administrators. They do. Their customer service is very helpful. If you're still having trouble or you're struggling to get something, if you're not understanding what quite is going on, you can definitely give us a call. We do have access to see the claims, so we can definitely look in the system and see what's going on and see how we can help you and go from there.
Great. Yep. Yeah. Always. If you ever have, that's kind of the theme for tonight. If you ever have a question about benefits and you're not quite sure, call us. Call the fund office, and we'll be able to guide you and direct you in the right way. All right. So thanks, Heather. All right. Let's see what else we have. Still got a lot of questions coming in. Here's one. Clarify. This is for Heather. So clarify the role. So we say independence administrators. A lot of times with us at the fund office, we get very used to terms and names, and we know what they mean. But if somebody's not quite sure what independence administrators mean, what's the role of their plan? Do they need to call them instead of the fund for medical claims? And I think you kind of just touched on it, but kind of just clarify on that one.
Yeah, so they are the processor. So they're the ones who are administering the benefit. They know based upon the procedure codes that are submitted and the diagnosis codes that the provider is submitting, they're the ones that are processing all that information. We can see the claims. So if you go to the doctors, whether it's paid, whether it was denied, we can see the reasons for denial, and we can help you and guide you along that aspect. But yeah, you can contact both of us, independent administrators. Their customer service is very excellent. So they'll be able to help you just as much.
Great. Thanks, Heather. All right, let's see. Okay. I guess that depends. What is the current cost medical coverage for new retirees? Does that differ depending on age and when they retire, or is there a standard cost for once they retire with health coverage? Is there a monthly cost for them?
There is monthly cost, so it does depend on the member's age. So for that, when you do come in to retire, we will give you those prices because those prices are set by the Board of Trustees. So whatever the premium is, that's what we will tell you, and you will know that at your time of retirement.
Yeah. So, and that would be an amount that comes out of their monthly pension.
Correct.
Right. All right. Is there any way, and I can answer this one. So is there any way to change your address online? And yeah, the answer is yes. So in the benefit awareness video, we talked about there's a new member portal. You can access that from the website, download the app. The app is a little bit better in regards to a user experience. You can go in and update your address in the member view portal. If you need assistance with that, please feel free to reach out to us. We can help you and assist you and show you how to update your address, but you can do that online, submit it, it'll automatically update with the fund office, and you can change your address. All right, so why understanding, we keep kind of explaining that understanding benefits really matters. So this is for the both of you. Why is it so important for participants to understand their benefits? So not just when they need medical care or when they're ready to retire, but throughout their career. And I'll start with Katrina for pension and annuity.
So it's very important, like we've been speaking about, talking with a financial advisor, talking with a tax person, talking with the funds office about your benefits, because, look, at the end of the day, we all want to retire and enjoy life. We don't want to wait till the last minute to make sure that we're vested with a pension or that we have enough annuity money to cover our retirement days. So it's very important that you stay on top of the changes and stay on top of where you're at with your retirement and your annuity. So you're not waiting till the last minute to be able to retire.
And from the health standpoint, to piggyback off Katrina, you just worked your whole career. I don't think most of us want to spend our time in the doctor's office post-retirement when we can be on the beach or up the mountains or on vacationing somewhere all the time. So preventative care is very big with us here at the fund office. So if you can take advantage of vendors like Catapult and Gallery and get those tests done now, and then that way once you retire, you can be at ease.
Yep.
You can just relax.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Planning for pension and annuity, huge. You'll hear us say it all the time. And taking care of yourselves when you're out there on the job site. It's a tough job, and it can be a hard road, and you don't want to make it harder as far as your health is concerned. So you want to always make sure you're taking care of yourself and your health as well as your family.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's utilizing those benefits and understands what's available. So we have, now this one, I believe we talked about in the video, but we'll bring it up again. It's like the prerequisite. So what do you need to be eligible to qualify for retiree health coverage?
Okay. So you need retiree health coverage. It's like I said, it's best that you give us a call. That way we can look at your work history, look at your contributions to make sure you are able to be covered for retiree health coverage. So that question is more of a one-on-one question, I feel, for each member.
Yeah. So again, reach out to the fund office. They can check immediately if you're meeting the requirements for retiree health coverage. So another benefit that was recently added to the MARCC benefit funds was Teledoc. I believe a couple years ago, Teledoc was added. So one, explain, Heather, what Teledoc is, and then do they offer Spanish as an option when they use Teledoc?
Oh, yeah. So Teledoc is, think of it as like a virtual urgent care. Let's say you have a cold, your sinuses are acting up, your ear hurts. You download the app or go onto the website, you log in, and you'll be in touch with a virtual doctor. They'll go through all the steps with you, and then in the event they'll give you the advice of whether they're writing a prescription or telling you to take something over the counter. And they do have the option for Spanish.
Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, download the Teladoc app, use your Independence Administrator's card to sign up for it. And that's pretty easy as far as urgent care, dermatology, mental health, substance abuse. I mean, anything that you want to talk to somebody about, you can utilize your Teladoc benefit at zero cost, and you can do it right from your phone. All right. So this is one in regards to reciprocals. What the importance of explain the importance of completing a reciprocal form and the timing for when they work. So a member works out of the area, they have to fill out something called a reciprocal form, right?
Yep.
Can you expand and explain what that means?
Sure. So a reciprocal form is, let's say, you're from Maryland, but you're working, let's just say Texas or something like that. You obviously want your funds to come back to your home fund, so you can get the benefits like your health benefits, your pension credits, all of that. So we have you fill out what we call a reciprocal to the funds office in Texas and here. That way they can make sure the money that you're working in Texas comes back to your home fund. That way we can give you your pension credit and your health credits, all of that here. Now, it does take a little bit of time to get that process going. I would give it roughly 3 months for those reciprocated hours, more than likely less, but we say give it 3 months for those reciprocations to come through.
Yeah, and when you fill out a reciprocal form, you only have to do it once for that area, and it's good for life, right?
Correct.
Okay. So always check your hours. The best way to keep track of that is if you know you're going to be working that area, or you think you are, you could just fill out a reciprocal form and get it on file with the fund office. That way you're already pre-prepared for that. And go onto your member view portal, look at your hours. You'll see those hours come back. You'll see them come in. Sometimes they might come in as 3 different contributions, one for health, one for pension, one for annuity.
Right.
But always go on, check your hours on that member view portal to see when those hours come back. Now, this question is in regards to, I can kind of quickly answer this one. How do you compute retirement rates? I'm assuming the retirement amount when they're 65. So I would say the quickest way to say that would be you hit 65, which is retirement age. If you're not unreduced, let's just say you retire with a regular pension, their pension amount is based on accruals, right?
Correct.
The accruals they've earned throughout your career is how your pensions compute, or what your monthly pension amount is based on the accruals you earned through the years.
Correct.
Right?
So it's 1%.
Okay. So 1% of your
Accruals.
employer contributions that they submit. So an employer, you work, I think the example was if an employer contributes $10,000 in employer pension contributions on your behalf, 1% of that is your accrual for that year. So that would be $100 accrual. Then that stacks. Let's just say you do the same thing every year for 30 years. That's $100. You would end up with a $3,000 a month pension.
Correct. Minus any taxes or
taxes,
reductions or anything like that.
So and everybody's different. That's why we always say, make sure with this type of stuff, when it comes to age, years of service,
your work history,
reach out to the fund office, and you can get a pension statement. Just reach out to us and we'll be able to send you a pension statement in the mail. Same with an annuity statement. Okay. So that's a great question. This one's similar to kind of out of the country. Let's say somebody is out of the country, they reach retirement age. This is probably something you'd want to call the fund office about. What's the application for them to process the benefits for people that reach retirement age but are not in the country? Do they have any options for that?
So we can always send them application. The application does have notary portions on it, so they would have to get portions notarized. But it's best just to call the fund office to make sure that we can make it work for you.
Yeah. So that's probably a very specific situation. So just goes back to call the fund office and explain and let them tell you what options you have available to you. Here we go. This one's for Heather. This goes for any insurance card. How can somebody replace their insurance cards?
So that is a very good question. So you can call us here at the fund office. We can order your medical card through Independence Administrators, which also doubles as your vision card for Davis Vision and your prescription cards. However, Cigna Dental is the only one that they don't allow us to order. So we can at least give you the phone number to them, or you can download their app. You can order a card off the app, or you can download a digital card, or if you just give them a call, they'll send a new card out to you.
Great. Thank you, Heather. All right. So this is kind of back in the credit, how you obtain credits for 1 year accredited service in retirement. How do you get 1 year of accredited service? Let's start with that, because this question asks about, this question is more under the requirement. So let's start with, what do you need to get 1 full credit year of pension?
So anything prior to 1/1 of 2026, it was 1 credit was 1,000 hours. Now, as of 1/1/2026, you can get 1 credit with 800 hours. Now, remember, if you go over 800 or over 1,000, it's still that 1 credit.
Okay. So then if you're, and you said, so
and you can get partial credits
partial
as well
credits.
now.
So this goes to, I believe, the question, which is, if you're under that amount, do those hours count? So as long as it's more than 200 hours, that will at least get you a quarter credit, which would count towards your.
Correct. So as long as you have more than 200 hours, you need at least 200 hours, you can get partial credits, which will go towards your credited service.
Okay. And again, if you're not sure what years you have, how many credits you have, you can get a pension statement from the fund office, and we'll mail that out to you. So this one, the question is, now that all the pension funds are merged, do we still have to fill out a reciprocal form? And I know it's new, and it was just recently merged this year. I would say probably you still would want to fill out those reciprocal forms, just so we know that those hours may be, let's say they're in Philadelphia and they work in Maryland. You want to make sure those hours are still getting transferred. So just to be safe, would you fill out a reciprocal form?
So look, my thing is, it's better safe than sorry. It doesn't hurt to fill it out until we, fully merge everything together computer wise. So yes, I think it's better safe than sorry to go ahead and do that at this point.
Great. All right. So we're kind of back to, I think this is still, I know we touched on the working in retirement. So somebody that is 62, they could come back until they're 65, correct? So if that's the age you can start working again, and then they can work that role 65 plus up to $17,000 a year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What happens if they make more than $17,000 in a year?
So, it's not advised to obviously do that unless you're only working that 39 hours a month, because we're going to be looking at that, and that could affect your pension benefit.
Okay. So again, just keep track of it. Keep in close contact. If that's what you're doing and you're working, keep in close contact with the fund office. Keep in close contact. Let them know. That way you can keep an eye on your statements, and see where you're at. And as you get closer, what you would need to do to cut it off at that number.
Right. Because we don't want it to affect your pension
Absolutely.
benefit.
Yep. So another question, I touched on it earlier, which is the current amount accrual towards your pension benefit. So again, 1% of the employer pension contributions on your behalf for that year, 1% of that number is your pension accrual for that year. And the plan year runs January 1st to December 31st. So that full year, whatever your employer pays for on your behalf, you get 1% of that. You can view that in the member view dashboard, where you would just go to pension, look at contributions, and you'll see what amount of contributions are coming in for the pension side of it from the employer. And then it's 1% of that is your accrual. All right, here's a good one. This is for Heather. When and how can I add a child / dependent to my insurance? So I'll include spouse as well.
So if you have a life-changing event, our fund does not typically have what most places call an open enrollment time. So let's say you have a life-changing event, birth of a child, adoption, marriage to your spouse. Just call us. We'll give you the email, or you can go on the fund's website We'll request the documents. So for a spouse, it's birth certificate, social security card, marriage certificate, and for a child, it's birth certificate and social security card. You'll fill out the enrollment form, send everything back into us, and then we'll put the child onto the benefits.
Okay. And how could they get the documents? They just mail them? How do they send over the documents you're looking for enrollment?
So you can just email them over, you can mail them in, fax. Sometimes the numbers come out a little fuzzy, so we typically don't request them, or you can drop them off at the fund office.
All right. All right. So it looks like you guys can still, if you still have questions, please submit them. It looks like we've gotten to the end of the scroll here. There are some that are a little bit more in depth or more personal. So we will have somebody from the fund office reach out to you. So we're going to move on to, we'll call this the lightning round, finish the sentence. This part of the program is finish the sentence. All right. Participants should never forget to
Give us a call if they need help.
Check their hours.
All right, I like it. 2 great answers. The best benefit resource is?
The website or calling us.
You agree?
I
Heather,
agree.
Do you
The
concur?
fund office or the website.
All right. Advice to every participant would be?
Always call us.
Seems
Always
to be
call us
the-
with your questions.
Seems to be the theme, right? Call the fund office. Don't listen to Joe on the job site. Call the fund office whenever you have a question.
And just
Go
to
ahead.
piggyback off that, just remember, if you are Spanish speaking, we do have Spanish speakers in our office to assist you. We have 3 of them actually. And if for some reason they are not there that day, we will absolutely get them to help you and assist you when they're back in the office, or we can assist you the best we can. But we do have Spanish speakers in the office to be able to assist you.
Yes, excellent point.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a quick one we can kind of answer this. So this goes back to pension credits.
Mhm.
So somebody works, you need 800, the minimum's 800 to get a credit, but you work 2,000. What does that mean? Can you get more than 1 credit in a plan year for a pension credit?
So no, you can only get 1 credit per plan year.
Yep. But the good news is you want to work more out. The more hours you work, even though you're getting 1 pension credit for that
Correct.
year, the more hours you work, the higher that accrual. So when we talk about accruals and the employer contribution side, the more hours you work, well, that means that's a higher accrual.
Correct.
for the year.
That's more money at retirement.
Yes. So the question was kind of, does the member receive that money? Yeah, you're getting it towards your pension accrual. So the more hours, the better, obviously. So one last thing, the next part of the lightning round, right? Let's get to know our staff a little bit.
Goodness.
I'm going to get to know my 2 panelists here real quick. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Coffee.
All right, no energy drink fans in the house. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Both.
All right, Heather's up early and at bed late. Phone call or email?
So I like a phone call. I feel it's more personable.
Phone call.
Phone call. All right, don't email Katrina or Heather. Give them a call directly. We'll put their number in the chat. Summer or winter?
I'm a beach girl, so summer.
Definitely summer.
All right. And we got some audience members answering. Terrence says morning. I like it, Terrence. Feel free, chime in if you guys want to answer the quick lightning round questions. Feel free to answer along. All right. So it looks like we did get to the majority of these questions, which is great. I love seeing the attendance. A lot of people joined. So as we wrap up this town hall Q&A, we'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out of your evening to join us and submitting these questions. We hope tonight's discussion has provided at least a little bit of clarity about your benefits and help you better understand how valuable your pension, annuity, and health benefits are that you're working so hard to earn through your hard work and dedication. So on behalf of the entire fund office staff, thank you for your participation this evening, and thank you for your hard work you do every day as a member of the United Brotherhood of Carpenters. And that's it. So thank you and have a good night. Enjoy.